I'm Luke Summerhays.
I'm James J. Miles.
And I'm James the Jester Stewart.
And you're listening to Monster Mash.
And on this week's episode, it's the flagship, baby. We're hunting Arkveld.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't kill the Arkveld, it's my friend.
Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did.
The monsters are under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head. You're trying to save me.
A flying wyvern that was considered extinct, according to documents left behind by the Guild. Their wings have a unique chain-like blade that can extend and retract freely to reap their prey. They feed on elemental energy absorbed through these chain blades, and are able to convert the energy to unleash dragon element attacks.
Flagship time, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I don't really remember a lot of pre-release stuff because I kind of went on blackout after a while, and I think you did as well, Luke. Did they show a lot of this guy before launch?
Yes, there was a big key art of like the Arkveld and the Hunter that was like the main promotional art. It's like the it's the picture on the like splash screen when you turn the game on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the one. Yeah.
And then also, I think I remember hearing it could show up in some betas.
Yeah, it showed like they basically full on put it in the second beta.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I
I
remember that.
I refused to fight it. Like I was just like so stubborn after like the last few Monster Hunter games and demos. I'm like, when I did fight like the flagship monster in the demo, like I didn't like the fact that I got used to the fight in the demo.
Yeah,
Then
I
I never
got
got that learning process when the full game was out, so I just left it, and that was the right call. Like because I've loved learning fighting this guy.
Yeah, I think for a flagship, it's one of the trickier flagship battles in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, I'd go with that. Yeah, could see why it'd be tricky. He's a bit big, slow sweeping. Some of his moves can be definitely put certain players off.
Like I think you'll hear in the Hunt episode, but we did give him a C2, but we're very much used to him by now. But I remember the first few times I fought him, it was like the massive explosions and stuff. I guess other than like kind of like your G rank flagships, like a Malzeno or something like that, those typically tend to be a bit trickier.
I feel like No Gigante gave me more trouble than this guy, just because of how aggressive it was. But maybe also I think just the numbers were pitched a bit higher in that game, maybe.
No, I'll give you that, actually. Do you know what? Maybe I'm talking shit. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm more thinking of, like, Zinogre or Tigrex or something like that.
Well, Zinogre and Tigrex, though, I think they come a bit earlier in the story. Not that we've played the games they're from, right? I bet we would have found them more difficult if we were playing Monster Hunter Freedom on the PS2 or on the PSP.
Yeah.
But we've only fought those guys
I
as
think
returning
it'd be classed as like
monsters.
second generation. I've played a little bit of Freedom Unite, where it's like, like Tigrex in that game, like a definite pain.
Oh, Jas is a second fleeter.
No, I started with the third game. I just went back.
Oh, right, you went back and played it. I see.
Yeah, but I guess I was about to say Arkveld kind of fills the position of like. That's not even true because then we've got the actual final boss. So, yeah, I don't know.
It is in the classic, at least since 4 or so. No, since 3, I guess. The classic flagship position of they act like it's the main cause of everyone's problems, but of course there's something else.
Yeah.
And I really love how Arkveld is present throughout this game.
Yes, I agree with that. Which, to be fair, they did a good job of Nargigante with that as well. Like, he kept showing up and being a menace, and
Although he shows up as sort of like just a mystery menace early on and then becomes significant later. And he's never... Like, Nargigante was never actually relevant to the main plot. He was just there to attack the monster you were dealing with when everyone was dealing with Zora Magdaros. And then he was just in your way when you had to go and deal with...
Shout at your shoulder.
Big Blue Lad. Big Blue Lad.
Or Xeno'jiiva.
Yeah. Whereas Arkveld, at least, you're
I guess
pursuing Arkveld.
Yeah.
for
From the
plot.
start. Yeah, like,
Mhm.
from the very beginning with...
Like, yeah, Arkveld is what attacked Natter and set off the whole quest, right?
That's right, yeah. Well,
And like
not
we said,
specific.
like, he's always like kind of present, like in every like kind of big story beats. Like you eventually fight with Duna, like that's he
we spoke about
re-emerges,
that, yeah.
reappears, and like absorbs his power, like basically steals your.
Well, yeah, like,
kill.
as we're hunting monsters and getting stronger armor and weapons, he's also hunting the monsters and stealing their power.
Mhm.
So we're both training up for the final battle, sort of thing. Keep saying he, it's explicitly genderless because the one we're dealing with through most of the quest is Guardian Arkveld.
Yes.
So I guess now is the time to talk about Guardian monsters a little more in detail. Like,
Yeah.
it was grown in a tank by an ancient civilization.
When we first arrived in like the Wyverian ruins and we're going through that, you know, the kind of, I don't know if we spoke about it just off just generally chatting or if we mentioned it on a recording, but like the way like the corridors were kind of sculpted out of like this really harsh looking jagged black rock and things like that, it gave me big alien vibes. And the whole concept of these, you know, monsters being bred for one purpose, to kill, kind of gives me that kind of alien vibe as well. It's all around quite weirdly sci-fi for what's been.
It's very
typical-
sci-fi for what has never really been.
what's
Well,
quite
it's never
fun
quite
to
been
use.
fantasy, right? Because
I'd say it is. Yeah, I'd say
they've
it is.
always it's fantasy, but they've always dealt with it like they're real creatures. It's all the guild are always doing science. It's never like, oh, this one just has magic. It's always like, oh, it can produce a fire by such and such process in its
And
belly.
there's
or
also the
whatever.
question of like how, like the whole kind of like with armor skills in the game, like how does that generate? How do you get that off of wearing a particular armor? Right, there's kind of science kind of behind
Yeah,
that.
it's obviously it's all nonsense, but it is like, oh, it's because you're using parts of the monster to replicate something.
Yeah.
Like it's never out and out been like, this is magic. This
Yeah.
guy's a wizard.
yeah.
It's always been
Yeah.
like, oh, these are just the natural abilities of these amazing creatures, sort of thing.
New weapon.
But it's
for
also
hunting.
never gone total sci-fi to this extent either, apart from in the film.
Yes. But I quite like this concept because it's something the series they've kind of flirted with the idea before, like the talk about like the fall of other civilizations and what caused that, and like obviously the film has the bloody Rathalos that defends the MacGuffin at the end. I forget exactly what happens, but you know what I'm on about. So it's interesting seeing this now come into the main series, and I think honestly they handled it pretty damn well. It's a really cool concept.
I think it's,
it's-
like I do agree
On
with you, but like,
paper, you hear about it, it sounds like, oh, that I don't like the idea of a Monster Hunter game going that specific about the ancient civilization or going that actually sci-fi.
Mhm.
But like once the play is in the hands, when you actually go through the game, beat by beat, the way it's sort of teased out. And, like, yeah, it's a sci-fi element, but no one alive remembers how to do that science, right? It's
Yeah,
not like
exactly.
you're not going to be growing monsties in tubes in the next game or anything.
Yeah, it's equivalent of, like, to draw an Alien comparison, like defending, like, the engineer technology. Like, they don't know how it works, they just know it's there.
Or it's the equivalent of, like, in certain Zelda games where, like, the player character and everyone you interact with is still sort of swords and horses, but there is an ancient civilization buried.
Like the Zonai.
Yeah, well, maybe Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like, poor as they're using the technology too much. I'm thinking more
I
like
suppose,
Skyward
yeah.
Sword, where no
Oh.
one actually uses the technology, but it is down there in the ruins.
True.
Which is a trope that I think is way more popular in Japan than in the West. Like, a lot of stuff ends up going that way, right?
It's a cool trope, and it's, I think, as I said, well handled in Wilds.
Yep.
Like, did we speak a little bit about, like, the whole concept? We did when we were speaking about, like, all the Guardian monsters, like the Guardian.
Yeah,
battle,
we touched on it a
how
little
changed.
bit, like how Rathalos shows up, but it's Guardian Rathalos, and then the other
Yeah,
returning
yeah.
monsters,
Yeah.
we get the Guardian versions. Well, we were talking about it then, it's like, it's a very cool way to bring back old monsters, rather than just have them show up as they were. But Arkveld's the only one we've had where it's a new monster, but we're seeing it introduced Guardian first.
Yeah, I am interested why they chose to do that.
Well, to make it the flagship of the Guardians, I guess. In the same way, it's like
suppose, yeah.
in back in Generations Ultimate, they were like, oh, and then this Diablos is supposedly the
It's
flagship
also like
of the.
Arkveld's like the big deal, right? Of it's got, like you said, it is the flagship, but in story, like the Arkveld species is extinct, or thought to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess it's more generally for story reasons, like Nata's whole reason about wanting to preserve it, right, and being a moany shit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the whole, when it comes into becoming real Arkveld, the whole kind of life finds a way moment, right?
I don't think anyone does, but it's almost like someone actually says life finds a way in that sequence.
Yeah.
Like they find the eggs, it's very.
yeah. I was just
Very
very
similar.
similar. Like the egg, they're just like, oh, just there's a hatched egg. Like, where did that come from? How? Like, just don't worry about it. Life finds a way, as we say.
So, what do we think of this monster just in terms of its design?
It's pretty cool, man. Like the whole chain, the chains binding it, like that's like from a symbolism sense, really fucking cool. Like the whole idea it used to be, essentially a tool for the civilization, and now the chains are broken. Love it.
Yeah, the imagery of it, because again, it is the flagship of these Guardians that were like bred as slaves. The
Yeah.
way that it's literally got chains on it is visually sort of very meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And something about it, I don't know if it's the colour scheme, the big chains, the sort of the helmet-like face, the armour set. It all feels very, like, Norse.
I think the helmet definitely, the head definitely, because it's got kind of that horned.
That goes like straight to the armor set as well. It's definitely kind of Norse kind of armor set, right? It's got like the big Viking-esque like beard or braided hair.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't consider that. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Actually, yeah, it's got all the braids and stuff. Yeah. Clear Norse.
It's just a
Design
cool design for them,
concept.
like for the developers to kind of play around with. Like, just obviously, like not only is the monsters, like general design look really cool, and the chain whips, like to then incorporate that into like other weapons, like the Joe Blades of Arkveld are actual like little chain whips as well. Like they fly out the same way as his do, but just on a smaller scale.
That's cool.
How do you think? What do you think about the battle? I kind of alluded to it earlier that I found it to be a bit tricky, but in terms of what it actually does, what's your guys' take on it?
I don't think I found it like the most challenging. I'm not
Mhm.
even sure if I carted on it the first time through. But it's
I think
definitely
that's just the nature of the game, right? Like the story
Yeah.
part at least being relatively easy going.
But he's just, to me, he's the right level of aggressive. He gets up in your face a decent amount, and he's got some big explosions.
Mhm.
I do really like
That
the
was
fight.
generally like the
And,
thing, like early on, that would kind of take me out because I played through the story with Lance, and like when he does that big AoE, like red explosion that slams down his chains, like getting caught in that while trying to block with Lance isn't a fun time.
Hmm.
But like now that I've like obviously played him and fought him hundreds of times, like it doesn't really kind of pose that much of a threat anymore in terms of when playing against Lance. It's actually a really good Lance matchup.
Oh, nice.
It's interesting.
He's quite
'cause
maneuverable, so I could see him coming at you from some annoying angles if you were trying to
Mm.
hide behind your shield.
Yeah, like I said, it's mainly that big explosion that you need to watch out for. You just need to be ready for it and know the tell to get out of the way.
It almost at points feels like not exactly, but like a bit of a ranged fight, like just with how he just attacks you from a distance with those chain blades. Um,
Yeah,
isn't-
he's got a lot of range on them. I guess because they're not like a beam or anything, they're still attached to him. I don't think of it like a ranged attack, but it has got a hell of a range on it.
obviously the massive sweeping explosions, which I think a lot of monsters do in this game. From now that I think about it, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of the are they called? Is it alphas? They're called, whatever they're called, by the regional big guys.
Oh, Apex.
Apex.
Apexes.
Apex, sorry.
They use the same word.
Don't blame me for getting it. Like they've changed. They've used Apex like numerous times, and or used like other terms in other games. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, the Apex monsters all seem to especially have some sort of big explosion. Because he's we were talking about this when we were doing the Zoo, right? Technically, Arkfeld's not an area Apex, but it feels like this is the
he's not,
apex
no.
of the.
The Wyverian rounds, yeah.
If anything, he's the classic like kind of invader monster, like a Devil Joe or a
Mm-hmm.
Betelgeuse.
Big
It's
Bass.
just like
Yeah.
he's like everywhere.
Here's an
I
interesting
guess in
thing.
that
didn't
sense,
even-
he's most like Valstrax as a flagship.
Yeah. Here's an interesting point that I didn't even realise now that I think about it. Yeah, it's true. You can't actually refight the Guardian Arkfeld right now.
Yep, story only.
Yeah. It's only regular Arkfeld
And
you
only
can
if you
fight.
like, only if you wanted to ruin someone's like early playthrough and come in with your broken gear and SOS like for it.
If they
But,
find SOS, I assume they don't care who shows up.
Sure.
Yeah, because I was when I was making the armor set, I was picking and choosing bits of Arkveld and Guardian Arkveld, just for like which one looks coolest.
Yeah.
But in the end, I had almost entirely regular Arkveld because I couldn't get many Guardian Arkvelds.
Yeah.
Because you can only get them for SOS,
It's
and
a
only
bit
if
of a-
someone happens to be doing the final boss.
It's a bit of a shame, in fact, that Guardian Arkfeld isn't refightable because I think the whole Guardian like battle mechanics of creating those like wilt crystals that explode,
Yeah, they
Um,
suit the monster really well.
they really mesh with it, right? Whereas you don't get that with regular Arkveld, which is it's a bit of a shame. And I wonder why they did it because they obviously did the same with another monster we'll be talking about pretty soon, but they made that refightable. They haven't done that with Guardian Arkveld yet.
I get. Is it because for story reasons, like technically there's only one of the Guardian Arkfeld because it went wrong or whatever.
I think
Oh,
it's
they can
it could be,
wave
but
it
it's
around.
also I think also like mechanically like the way they're leading into like the end game and stuff like that, and what they want you to be like hunting, like the really like kind of general Guardian monsters are kind of like low to mid tier monsters that you fight,
Mm.
and obviously they want Arkveld to be he's like the main like, kind of target. Well, he was until the title updates. Like that's all people would fight.
They could bring back another Guardian Arkveld, just see a wizard did it.
Maybe they've got particular plans for Guardian Arkveld and whatever.
Who knows?
DLC we
Who
get.
knows? Maybe by the time you're listening to this, we've already got him back.
I was
Well,
thinking that when we record our last monster, we're going to be like, you guys probably already know what's coming next, but we don't.
Yep. It's quite cool as well. Like you do see, I think regular Arkveld does this as well, but definitely Guardian. You can see that latching onto the breeding pods, don't know what to call them, the incubation chambers where the Guardians are getting grown,
The
like
Mewtwo
actually
tubes,
feeding
yeah.
the mutant.
Yeah, he's try to eat them.
Yeah. Power
Does that as well when
right,
you're like
so-
when he's roaming around, like if he's just a normal actor like roaming around the Wyveria, he will attack like the cocoons.
Yeah, the Arkveld's... So yeah, his thing is that he's trying to learn to be like a real living creature, not just a guardian. So he's eating, but he doesn't actually need to eat, so he's just become like basically a serial killer of monsters. It feels like it's from like real myth, right?
Yeah.
But I can't put my finger
Yeah.
on where it's from, like this creature from hell that learned to kill but doesn't understand why, sort of thing.
No, I know what you mean. Like I was trying to think, this feels like a story I've seen or a similar, something similar has been in media before.
Right, but like that kind of part of the story as well. Like when you actually see it chowing down like on all the monsters, like it's kind of quite dark for the series at least.
Well, the comparison that I've seen people make online for like the inspiration of Arkfeld, because it's white and it has those chains, and I think maybe even it's like nickname or whatever. It's like it's a ghost. It's the ghost wyvern. It's Marley from A Christmas Carol. But you don't usually think of a ghost as being so, like, physically attacking and chopping people up, right?
Yeah.
It's actually the Eco Dragon weapon.
Well, no, I think that's more like...
Yeah, we had to bring that up. The elephant in the room.
I think we've got another monster where that's going to make more sense to bring up in a few weeks' time.
It's kind of, it fits with the Guardian thing though that we're chatting about though, right? It is there, and it's always there.
Yeah, the Guardians generally are the closest to an actual in-game monster being the Equal Dragon weapon. Because they are monsters made by the ancient civilization.
By the hands of man. What about its name?
So the name is from the Latin for white and the German for sword.
Fairly, yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Although it's like those two words have been put into Japanese and then back to like English. So the words are like albedo and schwert, which becomes like Arushberdo, which then becomes Arkfeld.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there's a couple of leaps there, but I think that's probably accurate. Shout out to Rulia Hermitor on Twitter, who's the person who figured that out. Not for us. They just tweeted it, and then it ended up on a Reddit thread, and then I found it.
No, it was for us. We can claim it.
Direct message.
Oh, I
I know
guess they
the,
slid into Jay's and Jazz's DMs, but not mine.
My DMs are always open for the listeners. I don't even use that terrible
I was
website.
going to say they're open because you're not checking them.
Exactly. I know the
apparently
weapons.
all the
weapons
weapon names
yeah.
are Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah.
I guess it has like an armoured aesthetic. And like you have got like a little Celtic shield on your back when you're in the armour.
Mhm.
But it's not the most like knightly monster. I guess it's like a servant of the realm. And it's linked to like I guess Wyveria is Camelot. But like, yeah, it doesn't feel like the
Like even if you say like
honourable
with the
good
name,
knight.
like part of it like being sword, like that kind of like obviously we think Arvel like we spoke about. You think of the chains, like not you don't really think sword. There's only like kind of one move that he does where you could say it's like a sword is when he does like a little tail stab if you're behind him.
Mm.
And it's just like a little sword. It looks like a little sword poke. That's the only reference I could think of with the name at least.
Who's your favourite Knight of the
Maybe.
Round Table?
Gawain,
Why?
because I like the film Green Knight.
Okay.
How about you?
Go classic Lancelot.
Because he's a shagger.
That's a lot of the shagger. Everybody's pick, right?
Is it your pick, Jazz? It's a
Probably,
very
yeah.
important question.
Or like the other night.
I like Percival because he found the Holy Grail and then he was in Ready Player One. He was referenced. My favourite is the book.
Actually, Galahad also found the Grail. We're out the frying pan. We're into the fire, folks. Guardian Outworld is down. But what fights Oshia next? So join us for technically the final boss of Monster Hunter Wilds, although not really because it's only for low rank. We'll chat about all that when we see you next time. But until then, look, where can they keep up with us? What we're up to?
You can find us on Blue Sky at Podcast. If you want to check out the other podcasts we make, you can go to podcastios.org. If you want to throw me $1 a month to hear episodes very early, in the case of this podcast, you can go to patreon.com/podcastios. And we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please do give a rating, give a review, tell your Monster Hunter playing friends. Everything Monster Hunter online is getting terrible numbers this year because Wilds pissed a lot of people off. So we would love to find some more listeners. So please do rate and review, like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
Well, on that somber note, catch us next time.
Cheerio.
Perfection.